Hello everybody, Zika Trophy here. This is a little odd for me to do, but I figured I'd do a review of my favorite game, as you can tell from the title. I don't have game footage, because of course 3DS it's hard to record, because a capture card isn't a thing yet. But I would do it from the webcam, but that would be stupid. So you're going to have to believe me in what I'm saying, and possibly look for yourself. So I'm going to break down the game in parts by time I'm playing. And I got the game yesterday because it was released yesterday. So I'm going to take it by parts and I'll tell you how I'm going to produce it. So the first part I'm going to go through is called the Dooku arc. I'm calling it the Dooku arc because you're the Dooku kid. So, well, not the Dooku kid, the Dooku Sprout, whatever. So the first thing I noticed about the game is the graphics. I've really been impressed. I'm really happy. I didn't realize how the graphics had changed until I looked them up, and there's a huge difference. But everything's the same, it seems, going through and everything. I did notice though the spin attack. If you watch Link's hat, it kind of turns into this wood spike thing. I'm not too sure if I like that, but it makes sense now because every time when I played on the N64, I spawned. I'm like, how does a hat do damage? How? It's not like a club. So I guess he alters the wood in his body to make it into an attack. Everything else seems the same as you're going through, but there was a few differences. Like when you first meet the Happy Mask guy, whatever his name is, same dialogue, except of course, like in Ocarina of Time 3D, they add the Sheikah stones. There's only one Sheikah stone thing in the entire game that I know of. It's in the clock tower, right where he is, and he explains about how you can watch and see your progress, see the hints. Pretty much a, hey, don't want to figure out how to play the game? Here's the thing. And he tells you all that. So after all that dialogue, you finally get out to go into town. Immediately I noticed a difference, and I'm not too sure if I'm happy about this one actually. I know when I played the N64, when I started a new game, I'm like, okay, go to the Dooku that gets into the flower because that takes forever. I remember the flowers next to the water, somewhere near one of the gates, I think. No, not the gates, one of the doorways to there. They moved that actually. I guess they moved it a little away from the water next to one of the building constructions, because the dog, actually, to be more precise, the dog would push you into the water and you could die in the water. Which reminds me, another thing about the water. You don't lose hearts. I don't know if you did in the N64. If you're Dooku and you land in the water, you don't take damage at all. Because I got scared when I was doing the temple, but I'll get into that in the next video. But, oh, also, that main area where the construction workers are, I don't know why, but it feels like it's bigger. Like, the area is bigger. I think there's a second pillar that's being constructed, and they're both small. I don't know, but it seems a little different. And, yeah, that's not all, actually. I'm a little upset about this part, too, but it makes sense. I immediately go right to the fair, where the ferry is, and I keep forgetting I need to get the little small ferry to get the Great Fairy. So I went left around the tower. I'm like, wait a minute, where's the eagle? Why does the back of the tower have more room? It turns out now that the eagles don't need to be hit by swords now. You can just walk up to them, they open up, and you can save. I like this. I like it, but I don't like it, but this is why I like it. Please understand this. I'm pretty sure, as gamers, everybody has done this. They get a new game, they get excited, they wait the long way home, they get home, they open the box, they get all relaxed with the game in, they start it up, and then your parents like, dinner! Like, but I need to save. Or it's like, alright, we need to go to the party! Or you need to do this, you need to do your chores, and all that. I think all of us have had that at least once, and you wish you could save, but the save point, you have no idea what it is. That's happened to me a lot of times. So I'm actually pretty happy that they put the eagle that you could save right away. Because if they didn't, you'd have to go through the entire Dooku arc thing, become Link, hit it, and the process takes a while, honestly. It takes a while to get your ocarina back. Now, in that same area, and I don't know why this is a thing, in the back of the clock tower is the banker. That threw me off because at least 10 times I went to go cash in the rupees, and I'm like, where's the banker? Oh, right, he's in the back. Not too happy about that. But I think it makes sense now because people questioned why the banker remembered how much rubies you have. Because essentially, the only people who remember the pass that's set through is the Happy Mask Salesman, obviously you, and Talo. The only 3 people. And every time, you're always in the clock tower. I feel like the clock tower has a special purpose within the time goddess, and that memory and stuff is saved. That's why I think the banker, it's kind of fused into the clock tower now, the saves. I think they did that so they could make the story a little more realistic. Things smooth out and everything. So everything, the fairy was the same, the spit thing, the code, can't get the bomber's book and everything, blah blah blah, you get the moonstone and everything. And then you have to wait to face Majora. Nothing else changes. The dialogue's the same. The only thing that's different is the beginning area that I know of. I think the postman and the trainee guys' buildings are switched, but that's not that much of an issue. You get the ocarina. It's the same little saxophone thing, whatever it is. And then another bad thing happens. And I did not like this because I'll explain why. So you get your ocarina, do the time reverse thing, talk to Happy Mask Salesman, he gets angry, blah blah blah, explains Majora's Mask. That looks the same, and then he just goes, oh, by the way, here's a bomber's notebook. I'm like, what? What? Hang on, what? Like, I'm not complaining. I was immediately going to get the bomber's notebook. But the fact that they made it so that you get it right after you get your ocarina back instead of going back to the kids and then doing the process all over, I don't really like that, honestly. Like, I know the bomber's notebook helps. It really does this time. It shows the schedules and everything. So if you want to get the masks, it helps. Trust me. But I don't like the fact that there's like, yeah, here's the bomber's notebook for free. Don't need to go through that mess again. I'm sorry, but that just bothers me. It takes the fun out of the game that you need to actually do things in order to get things. But I can understand why. I guess it's a remake. People, they probably already assume that it's a hassle. Speaking of hassles, though, I was very pleased with this. I heard rumors that the Dooku Sprout guy, the salesman guy that goes at a flower and it takes forever to get into the flower, they changed that the second time you got to him. So I went to test it, and you hear him talk, and he just goes dive right in there. I'm like, oh, that saves time. Thank you. Thank you. So, am I impressed with the Dooku part? In some ways or forms, yes and no. I don't like how they rearrange things. I don't like how they gave you the bomber's notebook, but it's something easy to get. The dialogue's the same so far. Everything is just... It's just the beginning area is just all flip-flopped and stuff, and I like the benefit of saving during the Dooku, because I remember one time I can move... I remember one of the times I actually did start Ocarina of Time. I was halfway through the game of... Well, not halfway through the game. Halfway through the part that I was supposed to get the Ocarina and everything, and I needed to leave. I could not save. And I had to redo the entire thing all over again. But yeah, that's essentially the Dooku arc I'm calling it. The next one I'm going to call is the Temple 1 arc. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I might put the name of the masks in and everything. And I am going to go through a full review of this. So that took a little longer, so I'm sorry. But after to talk about a new game that I love. I love Zelda. So, yeah. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.